Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US Indices. We'll be looking at the S&P and the NASDAQ in terms of Elliott Wave and the trading levels, and starting with the S&P here on the daily chart. This has been our primary count, and we've also got a bullish count as well. I have to say that the bearish count here is looking like it will win out over the bullish count. It's not proven just yet, but it certainly looks that way. So we need to look at shorting this further to the downside. So let's take a look. So as intermediate wave 3 here, we've been looking at this as minor wave A, minor wave B, and minor wave C here, and we're looking for an impulse wave of 5 waves here of minute degree. We have wave 1 in place, and now it appears we have wave 2 in place. So we're starting our sequence down, 5 wave sequence for wave 3, which will be 5 waves. So let's go in and have a look at that. So just on the where are we? We're on the 4-hour chart here for this. So we'll be looking for trade setups here too now on the short side, and of course you're fully aware of Independence Day as such. So 4th of July, so that's basically now, and we were expecting weaker volume to come into place anyway. So I mean, to confirm this bearish count, what we actually need now is we need from this little high here moving down through here, we need to see 5 waves. If we only see 3 waves down here, then the market can still push up from that way, and that means that we can look at this as wave 1 and wave 2, and wave 1 and 2 of a smaller degree, and then pushing up here. But once we get 5 waves down through to here, which will come down to the 2700, and the little 5 waves as I've drawn here, and then we'll get a bounce here back into the 50-60% trade, 50-60%, but that may not be the case. But this number over here, just keep an eye on this. This will be this is a little number that would probably just about do it, 2720. But I've also put this in a green box here rather than the normal grey box, because we're going to sell at that point there, because once we get those 5 waves in here, then we know that if we get 5 here, then we're going to get a correction and then another 5 coming down. So we really want to be still, our game was that if the 2700 became a retested resistance, we'll be short. So now we're just going to refine the pattern within this structure. So let's go into the 1-hour chart here. We just squash this up a little bit. Don't need to see the SP. So from wave 1 here, we're looking for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave yesterday, and then we will just basically going to wait to see if we get 3 waves down, which we've got now. Or is it going to push further and give us those 5 waves? So a move to the 2700 would give us those 5 waves. Okay, so once you got those 5 waves, there's no point in shorting, because it's going to bounce off the 2700 and go back. So our lucky number is 2720. It can go a little bit higher or even a little bit sort of lower, but once we've got that correction in here as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, you can draw a line under the 2 lows there and also short that. But also too, when this comes down through and touches on this trend line here again, it's also going to bounce off that, and then it's going to come through again, and then it's going to come back and retest it, and then it's going to drop to the 2700, and then it's going to bounce back again, and then move through, and then bounce back and move through. So it does give you a lot of opportunities to actually build into the trade, rather than just shoveling it all in one hit. So look, fantastic opportunity arising here at the moment for this market. Yeah, let's just go into the tick chart and have a little bit of a closer look at this here before we look at the bullish count. Okay, so I'll just squash this up, and it will be a little bit messy. I'll just bring this in, squash a bit more in. So we've been working a bullish count from the low here, and also the bearish count. So the bearish count here is the A wave here, the B wave here, and looking up for the C wave here. So what we want to look at now, this is just drawing chart, so don't be too hard on me that it's all messy. It's hard to be perfect all the time, as you know. And then we'll be looking for a little, I'll just borrow these here and such. Don't need any more of that. I might just drag these across here, because we'll need those a little bit later. We don't need this now. Delete that. We'll just keep that there for the time being. Yeah, that's all cool. We can put that over here. That can go in here. So I just really want to work on the 5-wave structure here, actually. So I'll have to put that in there and that in there. I might have to adjust that a bit later. That's going to give us, I can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 there, so we've got 4 here, 3 there, 4 there. Oh, we still need one more. Where's that other little guy here? So it could get a little bit rough here. So we'll take this here, and I'm just going to take it below the 27 a little bit, because it just might do that. And then an A and a B and a C wave here. So as you can see, we're basically looking back at, this is, well, it can go this high. That's the 61.8% at this stage here, and the 50 here. So we can just draw that in here for the time being. Yeah, it's not much more help. Anyway, we'll pick that up on the charts a little bit later. So we're not there yet. We still got to finish this. I mean, if I looked at this trend from here to here, or here down to here, and I have to pick the halfway point of it, well, then that's going to be in the most powerful point of the wave structure, which will be basically just in here. So that's one half of the trend. We still need the other half of the trend to unfold here, and the bounce here and back into this space here, and then we can look for trades then. So we should get a pretty clear sort of ABC pattern here. So from that low here, I can't draw on this side of the tick chart, unfortunately, past the price here, but an A and a B and a C back up. Yeah, and you know, it may not come all the way up here, so be very mindful of that. You know, the 720, 2720, 272 as I call it, or 2772 you get, they're very strong numbers, and you can see it play in over here as well. So that will be the resistance here. So we're going to put this box here. I'm just going to configure this and make it green, because we want to sell in that space there. And don't forget to, you know, just a small amount so you can handle it. And then as it moves down, it's going to move down to the 2700 again, and then it's going to bounce back 50 or 60% again. So you can sell that again. So we could put in another box over here as such to put in another contract there, and we'll just put that in green there as well. Sell it there. And you also want to be looking to add under the 2700 here. Now, if there's a mistake made and for some reason, and we just go 5 waves down and we do a very small correction and then move down here again, you definitely want to be short when that becomes the retested resistance here. Okay, so we definitely want, I can't move it across here any further, but that market becoming a retested resistance here with that first low below the level. You want to be short at that point. Let's have a look at the NASDAQ. So with the NASDAQ, it moved much higher here as a correction, but we can look at it in terms of an expanded flat correction. So, but first of all, let's just stay with the bullish count. The bullish count would be that we have wave 3 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, a C, D, and E here for wave 4, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside as wave 1, and then we would be looking at this here as an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave to here, and then move up there. And that would suit quite a lot of stocks actually, as such, because a lot of stocks are in a fourth wave pullback, and we're looking for one more move down in those as an ABC, and then they can move up. So that's suitable at that stage. It's also possible that an expanded flat. Let me just draw that out for you here a little bit. So an expanded flat correction, a market moves up, moves down here, and then has a B wave basically up here, taking the top out here, and then having 5 waves to the downside here, taking the low out here, and taking that high out here, and once it goes in here, it traps everybody as being short here after the 5th wave, and then makes a move to the upside here. So that's possibly what we're looking at here as well, where it takes the top out here and takes the lows out down here in a 5-wave sequence. So 1, 2, 3 down into here, 4 and 5 here, and then moving up through here. So that's on the cards there too. But whichever way we go, you know, so we're either going to get, we know that we're in a corrective mode here now, and we're going to be either coming down to the 6,800, or we will be able to trade all the way down to the medium level here, 6,500, because it will get really choppy down here, you know, because of the old lows and so on. So we've got a nice couple hundred points here, and possibly a lot more coming into this space here. So we definitely want to be on the short side here. So let's just, I'm not sure what charts I've used here. We'll just go in. So, okay, so this is good. So let's just push this in here. So like I mentioned, we could get, we can have this as wave A, wave B, and down for wave C for wave 2 at the 6,800. Okay, that's one thing. And then we've also got the larger picture down where we have wave 1 here, wave 2 here, strong 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave moving lower, you know, much lower down here. Either way, we need to be looking at being short here. So it's the same scenario as with the S&P 500. This is going to move down here in 5 waves and then have a bounce. So be careful about shorting right in here on this. We want to see those 5 waves complete. Well, in the 4 hour, maybe go the 2 hour, no, working on the 1 hour. So yeah, so this here could also be, copy that, can be wave 1 here, same as the S&P. And this can be, copy this here and put this as wave 2 here. Yeah, so I mean, you're not going to get the Elliott Wave right every single time, so that's why you need to have trade setups and you know, you use a bit of logic really, and don't get fixed. You know, you're just the employee of the markets. You need to do what you're told, and the market's telling you. So in this case here, we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here. So I can see we've got wave 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here. So there's going to be more consolidation here, and that would be, you know, that would, all of this here would be in line with the holidays as such, the holiday, and then a corrective move back up here. So look, once that low's in place here, then look for your 50-60% retracement level, and then you can go to sell at that point there. Normally the idea would be that you would see the market come down, it would bounce off here in some way or another. This is just a visual thing. Come down here and have a retest here, and then you put your thing under here and you go down from that point, because it's migrating from being support to resistance. So we don't know how far this bounce is going to go up. Do not get fixed on 50% or 61.8% or anything like that. You can use that as a bit of a guide stick, but also gravitate to the closest largest number. But we'll pick this up and make this a little bit easier. I don't think I've done anything on the tick chart here for this, so nope. But I can see from here that well, look, we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, so we're looking for wave 3 low, which off 7,000 makes a lot of sense here, and then we'll look for wave 4 that will pull back 38.2% roughly, so pull back to here. Let's move that, and then we'll have wave 5 coming down. Wave 5 should be the same length as that, so yeah, I can't draw on this side, which is a bit annoying, but there you go. Once that, what I can do though, just to give you a bit of an idea, we can look at this here, this length here, move that, put that on wave 4 there. So that's where this is going to come down to here roughly, right? That wave 5, the low of wave 5 here. Copy that, put that here, wave 5 here, and then we can look at, where's that? That's up here, so we could put that up there, bring this down here, onto this one here, and then we can look at this here, 50-60% up here, and I'll just turn that green as well. But you know, it may not come that high, so don't get fixed on that. It's just something that we'll adjust on the way. Look, it might be bang on, but we might have to adjust it. What we're more interested in is when after these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finishes here, we want that A, B, and C. We want to see 3 waves. As you can see, 3 waves here. We want to see 3 waves back up, right? And then just draw a line under the low here and the second low here, and then when that's breached, that's gone from that point. But if your risk can tolerate it, then you can sell into this space, which is also the resistance here as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's support and resistance. So it makes sense that this is going to be, those orders will be retested. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.